Hello and welcome to the Jersey TV for today's massive game. It's Motherwell versus Rangers. It's the pre-match live. Boys, how are we doing?
All good, all good. I'm just going to maybe make you put the layout a wee bit bigger so you can see slightly better.
Are you good with that? Are you able to sort that?
I'll sort that. I'm all
Good.
good. I was in a bit of rush, so sorry I'm late. I've got here now. I'm just going to make it a wee bit bigger. I'll let you carry
You
on.
make it bigger to see your pretty face, mate. How are you doing, Lewis?
Aye, mate. I'm a wee bit more nervous now after seeing that starting lineup, to be honest with you. But I'm
Mate,
not
I
too,
feel
not too
sick.
confident, mate. But it's a very strong bench. Now, things
Yeah,
aren't quite going our way. 30 minutes in, at half time, it's easily changeable. We can make a lot of improvements to the squad. So
There
I'm
we
not too
go.
downhearted by the starting lineup, but
Oh, no, you can't see the
it's not fantastic.
yeah. When Si sorts the view out, we'll go through the starting 11. But I'm a bit nervous. I'm more nervous now than I was before the game, or at the beginning of the day. Obviously, it's getting
That's
close to the. There we go. Now we're sorted. It's getting close to the kickoff time, and the nerves are just ramping up. So we'll go through the team anyway, and then we'll talk about it. So we've got Butland in goal, Tav right back, Suter and Giga centre back partnership, and then Magoma at left back, Chikwani, Raskin, and Diamande as a midfield three. Then I'm assuming it's going to be Gisamo on the right, Moore on the left, and Shmiti up top. Sorry, I'll come to you first. What are your thoughts, mate?
well. I don't want to be too negative because we're trying to keep everything positive. However, pretty concerned about that team. That team to
Mm,
me gives Motherwell a little lift and a boost, and it gives me the fear. First of all, Fernandez is a far better defender than Giga. Giga's the last player in the defence in our squad that I would play in defence. I'd play him if I have to. Fernandez also adds a great aerial ability and goal scoring ability, and I'm surprised he's not on the team there.
Can I add something as well about Fernandez? The fact that he's literally just been awarded the January Player of the Month and he's
Yeah,
been dropped for this massive game as well.
I think that's an incredible decision, unless there's something I don't know about.
I,
Um,
I think I think he had that issue on his knee, didn't he? So I think it's just one of those. He wants to make sure we've got Fernandez for the remaining games, just chucking him in, and then he gets another sort of setback today. I feel like he doesn't want to risk it, and I think he'll be a starter for the home game against Hearts. That is
yeah,
my view on it
but
because
that could
there's
be
no
too.
other reason why he can't start
Every
today.
game's worth 3 points, so I think we need to treat every game the same.
Hmm.
Motherwell, if Motherwell were to win the night, they have got a tiny argument, but it's a big enough argument to use it that they're in for a title fight. So they're going to try and beat us tonight, and I don't blame them. Magoma, left back, I'm a big fan of that boy, but Romans has been looking the part in left back, and I would have played him in that position. And my
Mm.
other concern is the forward line. We've waited 6 months to get a goal scorer and a guy who looks at goal and shoots. Finally got one, and we've dropped him for one of the biggest games of the season. I find that
I know.
incredible, if I'm being
I
honest.
think I think for me, I understand a little bit Magoma and Romans. Obviously, Romans again. He had that setback, and I guess we want to manage his minutes a little bit. So that we have him for the remainder of the season. He's still getting up to fitness, so I kind of understand that. Even though I still would have liked to see Romans start, but the front three is my worry because like more on the left. Happy days, fine with that. I was thinking potentially we could have had more in the 10 and played Ant Man out on the left because I think he's really starting to come onto a game. But Gisama, I'm sorry, but I just cannot see it. Like we've brought in a player of the quality of Scavolson for the right hand side,
Yep.
and now we're dropping him on a massive game like tonight for someone who's clearly shown time and time again that he's struggling in this team at the minute. And I can't see that changing tonight. And the biggest thing with Gisama for me is it's not sometimes lack of quality going forward, but it's what he does when he loses the ball. I don't feel like he's got the right attitude to get back and win the ball back for the team. I think he can be quite a lazy player, and today that's exactly not the opposite of what we need. So I would have wanted to see someone with the quality of Scavolson on there as well, and then Shemiti again. He's good with his hold up play, but he doesn't bust the gut to get into the box. You saw what Nadiri brings to this team. Someone who actually busts the gut to get into the box, someone who wants to make the right runs towards the front post, etc., to try and get on the end of things. Shemiti doesn't give you that, but at least we do have options off the bench to come on to make an impact in this game. But I kind of feel like I want to see the team go out from the start with the strongest 11 and go and win this game early. You know, go and put them on the back foot straight away and get a couple of goals, and then potentially you can bring other players in. What are your thoughts, Lewis? What are your thoughts on the front three?
Worrying, to be honest. The fact that this is a game that you want to go into, and to be honest, any game you want to go into, but you want to score a goal in the first 15 minutes. You want to set the tone, especially away from home midweek. A tough place to go, and a team that's performing exceptionally, that's playing very nice football as well. They get some top quality players in that team, obviously. Maswinisi probably being their standout as well. Chermiti's obviously not a goal scorer. Chermiti's scored 2 goals against Celtic. Yes, 2 crucial goals, but that's it. He's done nothing else. He's done nothing since that game. Gassama, as you said, is quite lazy. I don't like him. He's not been at the races last few while. I thought Antman, with all due respect, I know it's Queen's Park, but I thought Antman had quite a good game on Sunday. So I think it's a wee bit unfair that he's been dropped. I mean, even Scott Wilson as well, as you're saying. Like, I think it's funny because we've brought 3 out of the 4 players that we brought in. All 4 players that we brought in are starters. 3 out of 4 of them are dropped. 3 out of 4 of them are on the bench.
I find it incredible, if I'm being honest. I don't know if there's something I've maybe missed out on because I was running late to get here, so maybe I've missed something. But for an example, if Gassama is playing on the right, then he'd be as well no playing. Simple as that. He'd be better playing with 10 men. He can only play on left wing. Who's better, Gassama or Scott Wilson? On current form, Scott Wilson, he's been dropped. Who's better, Magoma or Romans? On current form, Romans. I don't really understand what we're thinking about here. What I'm hoping doesn't happen, but Lewis has alluded to it, as they'll probably change that quite quickly. If Motherwell score early, and by the way, they'll be confident. When they see that team, they'll be confident. If they score early, I think he's going to have to change that, because I don't see that being a team that will finish the game winning.
No, I think it's going to be one of those where we waste the 45 minutes of football and he makes changes at half time and we see an immediate impact. But it's like, why do we have to go through that first 45 minutes? I'm not, I could be completely wrong, but that's the feeling I'm getting. We'll see the first 45 minutes will be terrible. We'll see the likes of Scovolson come on at half time for Gassama, etc. We potentially, I'm hoping that midfield 3 is going to work with Chukwani, Raskin, and Diomande. There's a lot of physicality in there. You potentially lose a bit of creativity in the forward line, moving forward. But I do want to see if we can, because Motherwell are really good in midfield. They're one of the best passers of the ball in the league, so they hold a lot of possession. So we need to have that physicality to try and wrestle the ball back from them and overpower them in midfield, which I completely can understand. So happy with that. But again, it seems like James Tav as well at right back. I thought, because obviously he played at the weekend. Obviously, I know he's got a hat trick, but he's getting to that age where he can't play every game. So I thought Sterling would have been a definite starter today. Yeah. Give you that physicality at the back, that pace, and that the energy that obviously Tav hasn't really got anymore. So especially when you're dealing with the top goal scorer in the league in Maswinisi. So
this is my concerns. My concerns are, I think Danny Rowe's done a fantastic job. I think we all agree on that. Nobody's impartial when it comes to criticism. There's one thing I would criticise Danny Rowe for, and I'll stand alone on this if it comes to it. I think he picks the wrong team a lot, and he does tend to get it right. But with games like this, it might be harder to get it right later on. And I think once again, in a big game, he's picked the wrong team. Hope I'm wrong.
I think he overthinks, though. He tinkers too much. We all know what the best team is. We know Romans he's a better left back than Magoma. We've clearly seen the improvement. When we do get forward and the way Romans bombs forward, the way he picks players out in the box rather than just chucks it in there. So I feel like we kind of need to get to the stage now where we are going to be just playing our best players and the others can be a supporting act and sort of push them on and fight for a starting place. And also them on their toes, etc. But
we've finally got
a game without our best players in the team.
We've finally got players in this squad in different positions that'll get aerial ability and height, and most of them aren't playing. I really don't understand it.
What I'm going to come in and say here, and I'm not going to really criticise Danny Rowe here because, as you said, Si's done a fantastic job. Is this Danny Rowe sort of trying to do this all? Because obviously we've seen at the start how he was changing the formation, he was changing the team quite often, trying to be unpredictable. That was the main focus of what it was. Is that what Danny Rowe's trying to do tonight?
Well, it's unpredictable for me because I get a surprise when I seen it.
But Yeah, but you run the risk of sort of tripping yourself up by doing that, by not picking your best players, and then it comes to bite you back on the ass. I want
Yeah.
to, but it's fine.
I
Like
can,
if let's say it's 0-0 in the 60th minute, and then you got likes on the Dairy, Scovolson, Romans, Ant-Man and stuff to bring on, then you might be able to see the effects, because against a tired Motherwell team, you bringing that level of quality onto the pitch, that could be the difference. But I don't want to get to the 60th, 70th minute, be a goal behind, or be 0-0, and only give them 20-30 minutes to make the impact. I want to see them make the impact from the start.
yeah, one of the big things, guys, is consistency's been a big component in how we've done well this season. And that's inconsistent with changing the team for no really apparent reason. Unless I'm wrong, again, we might find out there was injuries, but if they're just changing it for tactical purposes, as Lewis alluded to confuse the opposition, I think that's a bad move, to be fair, but I'm hoping to be proved wrong.
Yeah, I hope we're proved wrong. I hope Schmidt comes on and scores a hat trick, and Gassam gets a goal and whatnot. But it's just, and I also think it's a bit of we've signed these 4 players, and we can clearly see the quality that they all have. We want to see them playing every time we play, and it's a bit of a like why aren't they playing? Because we want to see them on the pitch, because we know how good they are, and we know we've improved in terms of the quality that we have on the pitch now because of them. So you look at the last 2 games, for example, scored 8 goals against Queen's Park. We don't score 8 goals against Queen Park without these new players on the pitch. We don't go and score 5 against Kilmarnock without these players on the pitch. In my opinion, they put the level of the squad up massively, and we want to see them all the time. So it's a little bit disappointing. But at the end of the day, we just got to be positive, because what a game we've got today. Because if we win tonight, right, if we win, what it will do to the other teams, I think, could be massive. Because this team, don't forget, they haven't conceded a goal the whole time Danny Rowe at home. That is the whole time Danny Rowe's been at the club. Motherwell have not conceded a single league goal in that time. So, this is the level of opposition we're playing against. They are a top team this season. So, we just have to be on top form and get the 3 points, because that is all that matters. We get the 3 points today. We put the pressure right back on those at the other half of the city, because they go to Kilmarnock on Saturday, I believe. And then and this is it. Now we're in the fight, and we've got Hearts on Sunday. But we need to go into that game against Hearts at Ibrox on Sunday with positivity. So Gisama coming in today, Shimiti coming back, Magoma starting today. They need to show that they can keep performing at a high level, and that they can come in for the likes of Romans, or for the likes of Naderi, because we're going to need the whole squad for the remainder of the season to keep pushing each other to keep getting the 3 points. So let's hope the boys can go out and deliver today, because, like I say, it's a massive.
I just think it's not the time or the place to be tinkering with the squad like this. Again, Tavernier was outstanding at the weekend, but remember it was Queen's Park, and remember he's not fit enough to play 2 games in a week, I don't think, and he's playing against arguably the most on-form player in Scottish football now. Other than that, I just think that I've not seen anybody online or anybody that we spoke to yet in our chat that thinks it's a good lineup, so it is quite concerning.
I really hope that this isn't a case of he's trying to rest players for Sunday, because this is arguably equally a harder game, and equally a big game as well. As the Hearts game on Sunday, they're both massive games. This might actually be a harder game than Sunday.
I think it will be. Watching Hearts last night, I think the quality of that team is going downhill. They've got obviously big injuries, and that's not helping them. But I don't think they are that good. I think they are easily catchable, and eventually they're going to drop off. That's my opinion on them. This team.
Lewis just hit the nail on the head with that. Aye, Lewis just hit the nail on the head with that. This is 3 points tonight, and I watched the Hearts Hibs game last night. A good game of football, don't get me wrong, and it was a great advert for the game in terms of aggression and passion. But I didn't think Hearts were any better than Hibs, and just now I think this game tonight could be harder. You need to go and win it. And I would be playing my best team. And then if you want to maybe bring on some subs or whatever, if you're a couple up. But I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see how we're going to score too many goals or defend with this team. I hope I'm wrong with that.
And that's my worry. It's the scoring of goals. Like Gisama off the right-hand side, like you said at the start of the show, it's almost like an empty jersey, because I don't feel like he fits that position at all.
He doesn't like it.
It'll be down to more. It'll be the same when we played Kilmarnock at home. It was all about Mikey Moore that first half. He was the one creating everything. And again, it's going to be all down to him because no one else is going to be capable of doing that.
The only positive I can see there, and it's not a great positive, but the only positive, we've got a strong bench. That's the only thing I can see. We have to get a strong bench.
We don't want to have to rely on them though in this game. I want to win the game from the off. I want to show that positivity from the off. That's my only worry.
Yep.
Well, I think it's clear to say that the strongest part of that team is the midfield. I think that's, apart from maybe Barron when he comes back from injury, I think that's your starting midfield for every game for the season ahead. Obviously, without apart from if there's any injuries, but I think that's probably the best midfield that we could start the game off with. Defence, I'm not too confident with. Obviously, Magoma obviously lacks his defensive qualities, and Giga, as well knows, a bit of a bomb scare this season. And going forward, as I said earlier on, you can't rely on Sharmiti to score goals for you, and Gassama is just lazy, I think.
I mean, I would argue that we'll probably played a stronger team against Queen's Park at the weekend.
I'd probably agree with you.
We've got an aerial ability, finally get a guy up front who can score goals and he's sitting on the bench. I really don't understand it. Well, we have to watch what happens and obviously gain more backing, but I'm a bit concerned.
I am, and I just feel like this is going to be one of those games where we feel like it's a missed opportunity. We didn't start the right team. We never really got going. And I feel like we've seen the story before, and I don't want it to be that way because today is massive. The players need to perform. Everyone needs to perform. We can't just rely on the same players. We're going to need these players to come in and do a job for us because we need to win, and that is the be all and end all. Whatever it takes to win this game of football.
Going back as well to what Lewis said earlier on, Fernandes got the award for the best player in Scottish football for the month. That doesn't really do much for his confidence if he isn't injured. If he's just back, if he's been dropped for Giga, to me that doesn't do anything. And the fact is, when Giga plays with Suter, I feel as if there's a bomb scare, there's a mistake waiting to happen every time the ball goes into our area. Cornelius and Fernandes would be my choice when the two of them are fit, but we need to wait on that. I think that's a real concern.
The only thing I would say about Giga, obviously picking him over Fernandes, he's quicker than Fernandes, and with the pace of the boys up front like Maswanisi, etc., you might want that pace, obviously in behind, because you know what it's like with the ball over the top of Fernandes. He's not the quickest, so he's not going to catch Maswanisi up, whereas Giga is absolutely rapid. So that's my only thing.
I'm happy to be proved wrong. I am happy to be proved wrong, and if I'm not proved wrong, I'll be delighted to be fair, but I'm more worried.
I'd be happy. I'm the same as you. I'd be happy to be proved wrong, but I'm not too confident. But as we've seen the last few games, maybe with the exception of the Queen's Park game at the weekend, we're a team of two halves. We've been going out in the first half, maybe not being the greatest, maybe being 0-0 or whatever. It's just been the one goal up. Then we go out in the second half, make a couple of changes, and the game completely switches in our favour. I mean, look at the Kelly game as well. 1-0 at half time. Some of the fans were booing. We ended up winning the game 5-1. I still think the scoreline flattered us. I didn't actually think we were that great that game. But see if we're going out and winning games 5-1, if we're not performing that good, what does that say?
But it's having the players on the pitch that are on the pitch when we're scoring those goals. Like we scored 8 against Queen's Park, and when we scored the 5 against Killy, I think second half when the likes of the Romans came on, etc. That's where we really saw more of an attacking threat. That's where we really start to see more fluidity in our open play going forward. And then we've obviously got 8 in the next game with these players for the majority of the goals on the pitch. It does feel a bit bit disappointing to not see them, because I feel like we were building something, and I hope this doesn't come back to bite us in the arse. But like I said before, we do need to use the squads, so this is just an opportunity for fresh legs to come in, because Gassama didn't play. He didn't come on, did he, on against Queen's Park? Of
all the comments that came in, Raymond Whitehead probably nailed what we'd all try to say. I hope he knows what he's doing. That's how I feel.
That's it.
We've got no reason not to trust him, because look at the position we're in since he's come in. So, yeah, he knows best.
So what time are we at there now, guys, for kick-off?
Yeah, so it's about 20 minutes to kick off, so.
Right, okay, we'll do another couple of minutes if you want.
Mm-hmm. Score predictions then, Lewis. What are you thinking?
I don't know. See, before I seen that starting lineup, I said 2-0 Rangers, but I'll say 2-1. I'll say 2-1. I do see you conceding. And see with that team, I wouldn't be surprised if we concede first.
Yeah. We haven't done that often, have we? Under Danny Will conceding first, well, at least not over since we started picking up some.
But it's a better opposition. You got to give Motherwell credit when due. Yeah. It's a better opposition and they're dangerous up front. Also, remember they haven't lost a goal for Park for.
Far Park, I think since October.
I know.
So
yeah, before Danny Will was at the club, so
to me, I would be saying, right, we need to get the best striker on the park for the whole game. But as what it is, I predicted 3-1 last night. I'll stick by that. I definitely think we'll lose a goal. I just hope my gut feeling's wrong because I've been really up for this game all week. There is a really good feel-good factor back at the club now, and it would be a bit of a kick in the balls, shall we say, if we drop points tonight.
Yeah, and this is it. This is, the club being able to prove that they can, or the players being able to prove that they can. They're in this title race. Do you know what I mean? Like this is a game where you go and you win and you get the 3 points, and then you show everyone that we're here to stay. We're not slipping up. So now the pressure is on them. I'm going to go 2-0. I think we will somehow keep a clean sheet. I think Jack Butland will have a big night. We'll get the first goal from a set piece, and the second goal will be later on when we hit them on the break. Like we should have done in the first, when we played them at iBox earlier in December, where I think we had an expected goals of like 4.4, and we just couldn't score the second goal. But hopefully today we get that second goal, we'll get the 2-0 win. Yeah.
But listen, the game's not started yet. Let's try and be confident and let's hope that we can get there and give it our all. We're still, the squad the team is better than it was at the early starting stages at the start of the season. But to bring all those new players in and only play one is my biggest concern. Why the other players are only playing?
Yeah. But I do think Chuck One is going to be a massive player for us today because he's an absolute ball-winning machine. The amount of recoveries he makes is. I thought he was our best player against Hibs at Easter Road, again against Queen's Park, and I thought he was really good. So
I don't like the rest of these guys. I don't have any concerns with the midfield. I've got concerns with the strike force, and the defence is giving me the fear. I hope I'm wrong with this, but Fernandes wouldn't be in my team.
Agreed. I'm the same as you, Si. To be honest, I've been really looking forward to this game, especially after obviously the Queen's Park game at the weekend. Obviously 8-0, a massive confidence booster, I think, for both the players and the fans as well. Even the manager, the coaches, they'll all be right up for this. And I think that a lot of fans looking at that starting lineup, that might have killed that little bit of hope. Because as you said, Si, I've not seen anybody who's actually happy with that team, who's actually confident looking at that team. And I think that says a lot.
I think the one thing I'm happy about is that Asgard's not playing. If Asgard was also in this team, I think I would have lost my head.
I think I'd have got the channel banned if Asgard was playing tonight.
Aye, Greta Thunberg. I'm glad he's not playing, but it wouldn't surprise me if he came on because that's one of the manager's weak spots. He seems to think there's a player in him, and maybe there is.
Every manager has that though. Every manager has a favourite that the fans disagree with.
He's too weak for Scottish football. You could knock him down with a bag of diarrhea. It's literally just no good. For me, he's no good. But he's not playing. Let's get behind the team.
Yes.
That's it.
Right. Happy days. We'll wrap up there, shall we? It's coming up to
Aye, no bother. Thanks everybody for watching. And if you can take it away for us.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you for everyone for getting in the comments and getting involved in the show. We'll be back for the post-match reaction as well. So please tune in for that. Hopefully it's a 3 points to the Glasgow Rangers and we keep putting the pressure on those above us. Thank you for watching and we'll see you after the match.